mentioned that we are using like some of the classic Hindi songs, and based on those, we will be covering relevant Hindi vocabulary words. Right? So, in this particular case, we are covering a song called "Do Deewane Shahar Mein," and what I have done is like I have collected a lot of vocabulary words that are covered in this song, and I have divided them into separate categories. So by the end of this class, you will be able to learn Hindi vocabulary related with demographics. When I say demographics, I mean like a country, city, state, town, district, county, all those relevant words you will be able to learn. You will be able to learn vocabulary related with parts of the day. And when I say parts of the day, basically morning, afternoon, evening, night. And then the third category you will be able to learn in this class is basically house related items. Like in this song, you'll see a lot of keywords which are house related, such as khidki, ghar. So we'll be covering that. So with that, I would like to first start with demographics. Okay. Feel free to, like I said, I'll open up a chat box on the side, so that way you can write any questions or comments there. So let's start with the first one, demographics. Okay. First category, demographics. Right. So the song itself says do, which means two, Deewane, which means lover, and then the third word is shahar mein. So it's two. It's basically lover. Shahar means city, and then mein means in, and that's what prompted me to discuss the demographic related vocabulary. Right? So you must have heard me saying like one of the basic question when you meet someone is where are you from or which city are you from? Like the way you say it in Hindi is like आप कहाँ से हैं? कहाँ is where? आप कहाँ से हैं? Right? If you want to be more specific, you can say आप कौन से शहर से हैं? Right? आप कौन से शहर से हैं? Which means like from which city are you from? Like which city are you from? Right? So let's go over like what is the smallest unit when we are learning the demographics. The first one I'm going to cover, it's called uh, village basically. And village in Hindi we say gaon, gaon. And if you are already familiar with Devanagari script, you can write it like this, gaon. That's village, gaon. Okay. The second unit I have, it's called, that's the first one. The second one I have is like town. How do you say town in Hindi? And the word for that town is kasba. Kasba. Okay. And the way you write it is like you write ka, half sa, and then ba with a. If you're not familiar with Devanagari script, we have 8 lectures on that as well on YouTube. So feel free to check out that playlist. It'll just take you 2 days, and then you can finish all of the relevant Hindi vowels and consonants. Third one I have is basically third unit. It's called city, which is what we just saw in the song, which is shahar. Shahar. Shah, the. So by now you must have seen like the way we are going through it, it's basically in the incremental manner, right? So the smallest unit is village, and after that we have a town, after that we have a city, and we'll continue to increase the the scale here. So the fourth one, the fourth one you have is called it's district basically. District, it's called zilla, zilla, okay, and that's zilla is considered a little bigger than the the city. Okay. And the next one I have is called Mahanagar. So, I think Mahanagar is nothing but a metro city. Right? Metro city. Mahanagar. Mahanagar. So all the metropolitan city in India such as Delhi, Calcutta, Bombay, Bangalore, they will fall into the this category, metro city, Mahanagar. Whereas like all the like major cities such as Jaipur, Indore, they will fall into like under the city. Um, Even like if you talk about US, right? I mean, the New York will fall into the city. Right? There are some cities which are definitely bigger than the district. Right? So those are the five. Let's continue with our the even bigger than metro cities such as states and all. So I'll continue writing uh, more words here. Sixth one I have is after Mahanagar you have something similar, like let's say capital city, right? I mean, capital city, some of those can be Mahanagar as well or metro cities as well. Capital is Rajdhani. Rajdhani. It's R with A, Z, Dha, and then Now with E. Rajdhani. Capital, Rajdhani, right? You must have heard about this keyword in your day-to-day conversation or even in books as well. So, for example, capital of India is like New Delhi, and capital of Rajasthan, one of the state in India, it's Jaipur, right? So if somebody asks you like India की India की and then the keyword here राजधानी क्या है, right? India की राजधानी क्या है? He is off. राजधानी is capital. क्या is what? India की राजधानी क्या है? It should be clear that they're asking you the capital of India. You can reply India की राजधानी and then kya will be replaced by capital of India, which is New Delhi. So India की राजधानी New Delhi है, right? So I'm writing them down right now, and then we will see how to use them on our day-to-day basis. So after capital, I have the seventh one is basically state. State is राज्य. राज्य. Rajya, and then here Rajya. That's state. Rajya. Okay. Just give me a quick minute. I want to make sure that all the panelists are muted. Okay. Okay. So the state is usually bigger than the your city or capital, right? So state usually have the capital. So state is known as Rajya or Rajya basically. Huh? The next one I have is country. Country is Desh. 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 Okay. So far we have seen like 8 vocabulary words which are related with demographics, and now let's see how we use them on a day-to-day basis, right? Because that way we will be using them in our application. Okay. So I'll give you one formula which we discussed before, and then we'll see how to fit all these vocabulary words that we have learned so far. So again, going back to you know the question, basic question, when you're introducing yourself to someone in Hindi, like you pretty much you'll ask where are you, uh, where are you from, right? And the way you say that in Hindi is like where आप कहाँ से, आप कहाँ से हैं. Now this is a very generic question, like आप कहाँ से हैं. Now as a listener, right? Or if somebody is asking me this question, I can it can be subjective, right? I can think of it like in terms of if somebody is asking me from my state, right? I can give them answer of district that I'm from this city, right? If this question is asked by somebody who is in the same city, who lives in the same city as I am, my answer will be specific to which area within the city I am from, right? Or if somebody from other country is asking me this question, I'm thinking that they're asking me about my, the place I'm born or the place I am originally from, right? So let's see how to tackle this question, right? So I'll erase it, and then it's very important because you'll get to use all the 8 keywords that you've learned so far. And while I'm writing it down, the quiz for you, and you can write your answer on the chat box. आप कहाँ से हैं? This is the question I'm asking you, and you can write on the chat box where you are from, right? So the one thing that I can answer like at the bigger level, I can say मैं इंडिया से हूँ. And if you are new, say is nothing but a postposition which means I am from India. Again, if the quiz was not clear, I ask you this question, same question, where are you from? So feel free to write down on the side chat box. Uh, you know, now this gives someone an understanding that I am from India or I am from US. You can say मैं US से हूँ और मैं पेरू से हूँ और मैं Brazil से हूँ, right? Now, if somebody from Brazil or is asking you, आप कहाँ से हैं, right? Or basically they want to go further down, right? So one way would be that India. Subsequent question would be आप इंडिया में कहाँ से हैं? So the first one was आप कहाँ से हैं, right? Which you responded as मैं इंडिया से हूँ और मैं ब्राजील से हूँ. Now somebody is interested in asking you because let's say they know about your country, right? They want to know where within India where are you from, right? So this is like India में within India. आप इंडिया में कहाँ से हैं और आप ब्राजील में कहाँ से हैं, that means they're interested in finding out even more, right? So the answer would be, I'll just pick a state here, right? So that way you'll know. मैं, let's say, let's say Maryland. Maryland is a state here in the US, right? So मैं Maryland से हूँ. So that's like, this was country, this is state, right? Now, same thing you can respond like, if you are, the same response can be for the city as well. That मैं जयपुर से हूँ. Jaipur is a city, right? Or the same response can be a metropolitan city as well. That मैं New Delhi, New Delhi से हूँ. Or same response can be for like other city as well. Let's say Brasilia, like city within Brazil, right? Right. Now, let's keep going further, right? If somebody is asking you, आप मेरीलैंड में कहाँ से हैं और आप राजस्थान में कहाँ से हैं, as I said, you can write it down as मैं, if somebody is asking you from my state, आप राजस्थान में कहाँ से हैं, you can say मैं जयपुर से हूँ, and that city, right? I'll just take one more example just to make sure that the point is very clear here, and you'll be able to explain anyone when somebody is asking you. Um, okay, let's say, what are some of the subcategories? The next question, if I may to ask you, like so far we've done, like we started from country, within country we started with state, and then city, and then metro cities, capital. Within capital, we started with like a town, and within town, it's like a small village, right? If you are aware of any other units, we can discuss those as well, right? So that is also something useful for you to, to know about, right? Um, so again, the idea here is like, once you know all these vocabulary words, you can use them in your introduction, right? Or you can find out about someone where they are from, right? So that way you basically not limit yourself with the first level of conversation, you ask subsequent questions as well, right? Um, and within that you can say that man. So here you can write down like a specific area within Jaipur or your town. So if I'm right now I'm in DC, right? And within DC I can like give you a name of a location called DuPont Circle, let's say. मैं DuPont Circle से हूँ. Or because it's very specific, you can also say मैं DuPont Circle में रहता हूँ. So that means like I live in near in this area. DuPont Circle में रहता हूँ. I live in this area, right? So I hope by now, with the help of these demographic keywords that we have learned, you should be able to, carry a good conversation with anyone, right? From as from this level, country level to very specific area where you are from, right? So let's take some more like vocabulary words which are not directly related with demographics, but like still, in my opinion, they are helpful. Okay, so the two new keywords that I have are seaport. Let's say if your city is like facing the sea or close to the ocean, you can use these keywords as well. These are like, a seaport and the beach, right? So beach is, it's again like, the Hindi word is coming from ocean. Ocean is samudra. Samudra. Okay, samudra. The way you write is sa mu the with the samudra. Samudra is nothing but ocean, right? And coast basically is nothing but that, that, the, and I'll write it down. It's not very clear in the Romanali, but you have a the and then the t sound. That, and the way you say beach is nothing but samudra that. So you have samudra that, samudra that. Okay, and nothing again. This one like seaport. And seaport is nothing, it's basically very difficult, but I hope you'll be able to remember it. It's basically bandar gah. And this is a little different. This it has nothing to do with monkey because monkey they're known as bandar in Hindi, right? And the way you write it is like you have ba and then you bandar. So this is a r on top of ga. So again bandar gah, bandar gah. Okay, bandar gah. If somebody asks you like this question, right? In your city now, let's say they want to ask you like if क्या न्यूयॉर्क में बीच है? So that's one way of asking them question where they're using the English word. क्या न्यूयॉर्क में बीच है? Right? Uh, you can respond with हाँ or ना. हाँ न्यूयॉर्क में बीच है or नहीं, which is so this is yes and this is no. Right? If the beach नहीं न्यूयॉर्क में बीच नहीं है, right? Or you can say समुद्र तट. So I know one of the panelists is from Brazil, so I can ask her this question, right? क्या ब्राजील में beaches हैं? क्या ब्राजील में समुद्र तट हैं? Right? Now, this is a question where you have to respond either yes or no. Right? So you can say हाँ ब्राजील में beaches हैं और समुद्र तट है, or you can say नहीं ब्राजील में समुद्र तट नहीं है. Right? So to be more specific, or you can also like ask this sub question like subsequent question. क्या क्या आपके शहर में बंदरगाह है? Do you have like seaports in your city? And you can respond with yes and no in this case as well. So I hope you're finding the first section, which is demographic, useful. Um, Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll respond to that as well. So basically, if you go over the lyrics of the song, which is our baseline of this class, you know that the narrator or the writer has used this shahar quite frequently, like shahar mein, and that's the reason I chose to go over the demographics. Now one of the question is like which is like for your homework exercise that you can do, that replace the shahar with all the other demographic word that we learned so far. Replace shahar with other keywords that we have learned so far, right? So in the song, basically in the context of a song, so do Deewane. So instead of a shahar, you can use all the keywords that we have learned so far, and then see what it will mean, right? And I think it's a very good exercise to make you aware of all the other keywords as well. Okay, so let's keep going. We'll start with the next section of this class, and then I'll summarize everything towards the end, that how they are fitting together in this in this song. So the second phase of this class is like vocabulary related with parts of the day, parts of the day, right? And most of you already know that there are like several phases, but I'm just going to cover the eight out of those eight. So we call it pahar, basically pahars, and there are eight pahars in a day, right? And each pair is approximately 3 hours. That's how the day is divided in Hindi, right? Or in our system. Basically, as you can tell, there are 24 hours. All the 24 hours are divided into eight pahars, and so basically each pahar is about 3 hours, right? So there is a name for each of those phases. However, we will be covering only four main phases, right, or parts. Right? The first one is very common, morning. Second one is noon. Third is evening. Fourth is night. And since some of you are already familiar with the keywords or the vocabulary words, feel free to write them down. This will also test your understanding. If not, we'll go over each of them systematically. So the morning is basically subah. 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 Okay. Noon is dopahar. As you can see that it has a keyword called pahar, and do is nothing but number two. So perhaps this is the second pahar of the day. That's why they're using it as dopahar, right? Dopahar. And the way you write it is like you write do, uh, uh, dopahar. So again, if I go back to the song, you'll see that one of the keywords that is being used is in the song is dopahar, raat mein or dopahar mein, right? So that's dopahar. Third one is evening, which is nothing but sham. Sham. So it's sha, a, sham. And night is raat. Raat. I'll actually write down one more so that way we'll complete all of them. The fifth one I have is here is called din, which is like day. A generic word for a day would be din. Din, right? So again, if I repeat again, morning is subah, noon is dopahar, evening is sham, night is raat, right? And the generic word for day is din, right? So that's second part of the Hindi vocabulary where you learn like five keywords, right? And as you can see, if you read the lyrics of the song, you will definitely see these two, uh, you know, raat and then dopahar. Basically, the meaning of that particular line is that there are two lovers in the city, during the day and during the afternoon or during the night, they're like looking for a house basically or somewhere they can live, right? So I hope this is make sense. This is making sense to you. Again, will towards the end of the class, I'll tell you how you can use them on the as an application, how you can use them for your day-to-day conversation. Okay. Now there's a third category in the song, in the vocabulary, and after that we'll go to song-specific keywords that we learn. So the third ones are related with house, so house-related items. So again, if you read the lyrics, you'll see a lot of keywords related with house, right? So I'm going to write them down, right? The first one is house itself, and they have ghar. House can be known as ghar. It can also be known as makan, makan, right? Or it can also be known as like um, ashiana, which is like a Urdu word. And I'll write it down if you cannot read the Hindi bit. It's basically ashiyana, ashiana. Primarily, you will see people using ghar and makan. You won't see too many people using ashiana, but it's good to remember, all of them, right? Now, if you go back to the lyrics, it will make sense to you that they are referring to house, right? That's the one word, The second one, I'm going to write it here as only. It's basically a smaller unit of a house. Let's say there's a hut, a small hut. How do you say hut in Hindi? Like, hut is nothing but a jhopdi. Don't worry about it if you don't know the Devanagari script. It's J with O, A, D, and then E, jhopdi, jhopdi. Jhopdi is a small hut. And third word related with house used in this song is called window. Window is khirki. Khirki. It's basically khirki. 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 Right? That's window. So that's the third, household related item or the vocabulary word which is used in this song. What I've what I've learned so far is like if you just simply remembering the vocabulary words, it might be difficult. But however, if you have a context behind it, or if you have something to like baseline it upon, then it's much easier. That's why I chose this particular song, which has variety of like small yet simple words. So I hope you find it interesting, and I hope you get to hear to this song. Towards the end of this class, what I'll do is like I'll post because the class will automatically get recorded and uploaded on YouTube. So I'm just gonna put a link of the song in the beginning of our class, so that way you can like click on it and listen to the song. Okay, so now after these three categories of vocabularies, we will learn some song-specific grammar, which I think is very useful as well. So that brings us to the fourth section of this class, which is song-specific item. Song-specific grammar. Right. So if you again go back to the lyrics, I posted a link of the lyrics as well. You will see the usage of this post position quite a lot. May. May is in post position. As I have covered in the earlier classes, Hindi uses different kind of like structure, sentence structure than English. Right? In English, you have a preposition. However, in Hindi, you have a postposition. Right? In English, you'll have in Delhi or in Poland. In Hindi, it would be Delhi में or Poland में, or you have in England, you have England में, in England, right? This is a format we're using in Hindi, right? Um, if you listen to the song or if you go over the lyrics, you will see this postposition is used quite frequently in this song. And I'm going to write down some of the examples here. So they have used शहर में, शहर में, which means, and I'm going to pause here to see if you guys are paying attention. What will it mean according to you when they say शहर में? Feel free to write your answer on the chat box. शहर में, and we learned this vocabulary word when we were discussing demographics. You want to try? Okay. It means in the city. Shahar is nothing but a city. So in the city. Right? Another one. दोपहर में. It's one word. दोपहर में. And we also learned about दोपहर. Right? It means in noon or during noon. Right? They've also used as रात में, which is also similar at night. में, रात में. Where else? So शहर में, दोपहर में, रात में. What about दिन में? During the day. There are two more actually that I want to cover because that will teach you some new words as well. They've used आँखों में. आँखों में. आँख is just one eye. आँखें is plural. Uh, you know, uh, multiple eyes. But however, when you're using the post position, aankhein becomes aankhon. We use the oblique case here, right? So that's when you say aankhon mein, right? In the eyes. In the eyes. That's when you use. And again, if you go back to the song, you will see that they're using this aankhon mein as well in the eyes. And the last one which I have is galiyon mein. Galiyon mein. And if I can erase just one piece of it. So if I simply say gully, gully is basically a street, and plural galiyan, streets, streets, right? Now, if you want to use it with the post position, give me a quick minute so that way. So if you are to use it with the post position, galiyan with any of the post position may say, then galiyan becomes, we use the ugly case of galiyan, which is galiyon mein. So in the streets, in the streets. And they have used, this phrase as well in the song quite a lot, right? So now these are like, song specific thing, right? So now you can use it in based on in your context as well. For example, if you're in a theater, you can say मैं थिएटर में हूँ, right? Or you can say मैं घर में हूँ, घर is house, right? मैं घर में हूँ. Or you can say मैं स्कूल में हूँ, right? मैं स्कूल में हूँ और मैं uh, anything basically that comes to your mind here, right? मैं dancing class में हूँ, dancing class में हूँ, right? In the those particular, So basically, the idea here is like once you have an understanding of the post position may, depending on how it is used, you can figure out what the what they're trying to say, right? I thought it was pretty useful, and if you are we have one lecture or one video on our Hindi University channel where we are completely talking about this post position may. And if you are new or a beginner, I highly recommend that you go to that particular video, right? Um, okay, there's a last section which I want to do before we wrap up this class. Is section number 5, and that is again song specific. So far you've done like 3 sections related with vocabulary, 4 section related with song specific post position, and the fifth one is also song specific keywords. Keywords. If you listen to the song, they've used multiple keywords such as or, they've used a keyword called yeah, and they have used a keyword called fair. Now, what do they mean? Right? I mean, that's very reasonable question. And what I thought, like, if we sort of like, before you even know the meaning of these keywords, I again encourage you, if you not listen to the song, that I encourage you to go and watch this song and pay attention, like and see how they're using these keywords. Because sometimes, just by paying more close attention, you can immediately think about it. Like they may, it might mean this or this, right? Right. So, so if you listen to the song, it'll say रात में और दोपहर में. So it'll say रात में, which is at night, or दोपहर में. That's how they're using it, right? And even if I don't know the meaning of it, like if I know these raat mein is at night and dopahr mein is noon, and they're using this keyword to combine both of them, right? It means like maybe it's at night and dopahr mein during the day. So by default, it comes to my mind that it might mean and, right? That they may be talking about this and this. So even if I don't know what it means, I can guess that it means and that's exactly it means. It means and, and I will take it a little further so that I can give you more examples, right? And so basically, pen and pencil, right? If you want to say that in Hindi, it would be pen or pencil, right? Pen or pencil. Or if I want to say fruits and vegetables, right? So it would be fruits or vegetable. And if you know the Hindi word for each of them, it's even better. Fal or sabjiyan, vegetables. Okay? If it is singular, it's fal or sabji, right? So that's the keyword. Or means and. Fal or sabji, right? Um, Science and maths, right? So you can say science or maths. And if you know the Hindi word for each of them, even better. And I showed you that in the upcoming classes, I'll pick up a Hindi song which has a specific usage of science and math. So that way, I'll teach you the Hindi word for all these uh, streams as well. So that was the one keyword, and I think it's very important, and I think you should remember it and try to use it, whenever you can. Or the second one is the second keyword they have is called ya. Yeah, right. Now, again, go. I encourage you to go to the lyrics, and then let's see what they have left. Left, yeah, right. If somebody is telling you this, left, yeah, right, right. Straight, yeah, backward. Now, even though you don't know, let's say you don't even know, you've never heard of this keyword. However, if you see the context, they're using this particular keyword. You can make an educated guess that it might mean or, and that's exactly how they're using it, like left or right. Like, should I go left or should I make a left or should I make a right? Right. So that's how they're using yeah, right. Simply like if you're asking direction with someone, right, you're asking them like should I go straight or should I go backward? So you can use yeah there as well, which is or, either or, right? One has to be right here. In the other case, both of them when you were using or, right? So I think it's very important keyword, yeah. Right? So again, if you were to use it in the same context as before, like fruits and vegetables, fruit and vegetable. So it might mean completely two different things. If you're going to a doctor, and if the doctor is recommending you that you should eat fruits and vegetables, right? So one would be that you should eat fun or sabji. If the doctor is saying you that, that means you should eat both of them. fun or sabji. However, if they're telling you you should eat fun, ya sabzi, that means they're telling you either eat one or the other, either and or. So don't eat both of them, either this or that. However, in this case, you should eat both of them. So it's an important difference, and I think it's good to remember it as well. Okay, the last song specific keyword, it's it's basically fear. 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 Fear is nothing but then. So it's important. Let's say somebody is explaining you certain things, and you are very curious and you want to find out what happened after that. What happened after that, right? You can use this keyword like fear. Fear kya hua, what happened after that, right? So then, right? So it's basically find out subsequent detail, find out. You can use it to find out subsequent details. Can be used in storytelling. Uh, Again, in this case, if you go to the song, it will give you a better context of how they're using it. You can use it for, let's say, career planning as well. Right? I mean, I'm just giving you one example, career planning, right? Or anything which is related with future as well. So let's see how I can sort of like use it, right? So if somebody is asking you, what will you do today? Like, what's your plan for today? Uh, I'm just gonna write everything in English so that way you can just focus on this keyword. So you say, I'll, I'll get ready. Okay. Um, One option would be that you simply write and tell them individually, I'll get ready, I'll take bus, I'll work. But this if you take this approach, it seems a little bit not really things are not really connecting here, right? The other approach would be that you'll try to connect all these sentences together, and you can use them using here. So the other approach will be that you'll say, I'll get ready, where I'll take bus, where I'll go to work, where I'll come home, right? That's more like you want some continuity in your sentences, and that's very important if you want to use Hindi in a little bit more advanced manner, where you want to connect all these sentences together. So I think those three words that we learned so far, which is or and yeah, which is nothing but or, and the last one which is fair, which is then. So I think these three keywords are like really important. And Now quickly I'll summarize what we've learned so far in the class, and I'm going to give you exercise as well. So just to give you a quick summary of the class, we started learning about Hindi vocabulary. We learned vocabulary related with demographic. We learned vocabulary related with parts of the day, and then household related items, right? And then we started learning about a particular postposition called "मैं," which is in, and then we learned these three keywords, right? Your exercise is like go through each of these particular five sections from one to five, and then use each of these. Use each of these. So take one keyword from each of these sections. Use each of these sections in a sentence, in a simple sentence, right? You can simply write them down in our, on our Facebook group, or you can take a picture of this exercise and post it as well. So anything will do. With that.